Hello and holiday greetings to everyone listening. This is the Movie Bros podcast. We are your hosts, as always, Duncan and Hayden. Hello, hello.
Welcome back. I hope everyone's enjoying the season.
If you are new, this is obviously two brothers who pick a movie, watch that movie, discuss, ramble, banter, argue, rant, all the things you can think of about said movie, and then post it for you fine folk to listen to. We cover all genres, all eras, any kind of movie you can think of. That's kind of what we do. And if you have suggestions, comments on YouTube, on Spotify, direct messages on Instagram at the movie_bros. Those are all the kind of buzzwordy things. Since it is a holiday month, really, because it's kind of one of the big ones for the year. If you are not new, you will know that we've kind of been talking about this. I think last week is when we first.
We did start last week.
Either way, we're going to be talking about quite a number of either classics or new classics or just holiday movies in general for Christmas. So this week, next week, and maybe the next couple. But we're going to start this week with Christmas Vacation, or technically, I think the official title is Christmas Vacation, but depending on where you see this, it might be National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
So, yes. So technically, the official title is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, but it's so well known, it's just known as Christmas Vacation. And I would say it's arguably more well known than the original, just National Lampoon's Vacation.
Agreed.
And I would say is the better movie. But we're
Agreed.
getting ahead of ourselves. I'm going to run through some information, some fast film facts, some cast lists here, and then we'll get into our opinions. I'm unfortunately flying by the seat of my pants more than I would like because I had a technology issue. My laptop crapped the bed, and I was not able to grab this beforehand. So I didn't look all the stuff up in the way that I would normally do. If you would like to hear what I normally do, check out literally any other episode. So this is Jeremiah Chechik, is the director. This is written by John Hughes, which even if I don't, look that up, he is a huge name, known for such small movies like The Breakfast Club and Uncle Buck and Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and both the good Home Alones. It just a ton of stuff. So, the cinematography for this is Thomas E. Ackerman. Composer is Angelo Badalamenti, and I recognize that name as the composer more well-known for Twin Peaks, works with David Lynch all the time. I'm surprised to see him here because, quite frankly, I didn't notice a single bit of actual composed music for this. This stars, obviously, Chevy Chase, Beverly D'Angelo, Juliette Lewis, Johnny Galecki, Randy Quaid, and then a host of legacy actors and actresses playing all of the extended family, just a ton of people. With featuring Julia Louis-Dreyfus and Brian Doyle Murray, who people may recognize from Groundhog Day as the mayor. That's kind of all the information I have down for this. Duncan, would you like to start off? Where would you like to start if that's the case?
Well, per our order of things, we're going to start with ratings. And looking at my Letterboxd, which is Duncan 8 Donuts, Duncan the letter 8, and then Donuts, I had previously given this only like a 3, and I think it's better than a 3. I give it a very solid 4 out of 5.
Yeah, I'm sitting at the exact same rating at 4 out of 5. I think a lot of it is just as funny as when it came out, but there's a couple bits here that I don't think have aged very well or are that funny anymore. But it's definitely a classic.
There's a lot of this that is, I mean, we're going to talk about it a lot more specifically, but it's so relatable, I think, to so many different people's Christmas situations with family and traditions and all that kind of stuff. So I think it hits home for a lot of what it's trying to do.
Well, I mean, we'll get into this later, but it's something that I love that this does is that as the movie goes on, it gets more and more outlandish and ridiculous. And I love that it builds the absolute on the absolute insanity that it starts out at a pretty high bar for just craziness, though.
Well, before the movie even starts, first of all, the song is kind of a banger song. The Christmas
I
Vacation song, kind of a banger song.
That's like the first thing I have written down is I really like the opening song. It is super catchy.
And even that opening animation, like that's a solid like 4 or 5 minutes of just animate for which like it doesn't really
I do love that animation, but I feel like it has so little to do with anything that happens later. Like,
correct.
usually, if you're going to do that, you would like summarize some of the things you'll see later in the movie, and and that's not what it does. So, I do think it's really great, but I wish it was, had a little bit more specifically to do with the movie.
I mean, yeah, but speaking of the starting at a high bar, the whole underneath the truck on the highway scene.
Is nuts because they actually had to fucking do that.
Yes. So that I'm fine with. There are a few like wacky physical comedy parts of this movie that I think are just kind of like corny and that I don't love. A lot of the stuff whenever he's in the attic and he's falling through the ceiling like multiple times and getting hit with things. I don't know. I don't find it funny.
I mean, I really love that kind of slapstick. It's kind of why I also like, both the Home Alones. It's the exact same kind of thing, and so I don't have an issue with that as much.
The towing the tree out. Okay, so part of that I think that maybe I've become too
You want
logic.
to look for logic flaws and stuff, yeah.
Yes. Like when they're driving away with the tree with the full roots, and I'm like, dude, he didn't bring a saw. There's no way he fucking dug out this tree.
No, but it's definitely funnier if you think that he did.
Sure, sure.
So something that I noticed this time around as I was, rewatching it for a quote unquote critical review of what we're doing here, even though I think I've watched it every year for like a decade. But what I noticed is that while there is like a narrative quote unquote story, like it does have a beginning, middle, end, what this movie is more so is that it's literally just funny skits and scenes vaguely stitched together,
Yes, there's a somewhat arc, and what part of that I really like is they use the advent calendar to show time passing.
which is really clever.
Yeah, I thought that was very clever. Um, but yeah, it is mostly how many different either Christmas bits or like family bits can we kind of attach to one another.
Well, I mean, as the name suggests, lampoon, even though that's not really a term that's used all that often. I mean, it literally means we're going to make fun of something. So I like that all the bits here are essentially just making fun of what is, or at least for 89, what would be considered the classic American family Christmas. I like that pretty much every single bit of it is attacked and made fun of here.
Correct. I mean, some of this is also just of that era, like
Oh yeah.
the the vibes of just corporate America at his job with the boss and the crowd of men that follow the boss around and all the same presents that everyone gives the boss. Like I don't know, so much of that stuff. I'm like,
I think that is where the movie really drags the most because when it's funnier is when all of the wild outlandish crap is happening at his house and at like the snowboarding area. I think it really slows down and it tries to have like subtle dialogue comedy there and it's not as funny.
see, I know it's one of those classic scenes, but I thought that the the sledding scene where he goes crazy fast, it feels
It
I don't
feels
know,
tacked on and out of place. It doesn't have anything to do with what we were just watching,
not at all.
but as I just say, so much of this is just collage together funny skits.
Yes.
I'm kind of okay with it.
Speaking of the semi story with and then they touch on this, multiple times throughout the movie where he's envisioning the pool scene. But the Mary from the mall,
Yeah, I didn't like that bit either.
well, oh, dude, oh no, I'm fine with the bit because she's
I like that bit. She's hot as hell, but I don't think that that scene is very funny anymore.
no, no, not at all. And especially with the more you know about like Chevy Chase's background of like kind of
Oh
being
yeah,
an asshole. Yeah, and they do it all because actually, summer vacation, whatever you want to call it, was playing on the TV at work the other day, and like in both movies, he's like constantly is like going after this young bimbo, even
they
though his
they
wife is
do
like right there.
they do kind of repeat bits, but I think it's arguably funnier here and a little bit less creepy.
Well, here they also do a little bit more of a balance of like, hey, here's some like actual like uh sincere, wholesome conversations
Correct.
with like the little daughter in the wee hours of the morning, or he's talking with his dad about heck, how did you deal with Christmas with this many people?
Sure.
Uh, I don't know if it's PTSD or something, but the amount of bits of like the aluminum ladder hanging lights, like man, I feel that to my core.
Yup, yup.
And I don't know why it's always stood out to me, but the neighbors, which Elaine and whatever the dude is, uh,
Todd and Margot.
I don't know, Margot. Oh,
Why is the carpet wet, Todd? Yeah.
yes, so good, and like not really needed, but like I'm perfectly fine with them being in this movie.
Well, I think they are needed because if they didn't show any of his neighbors' reaction to him like delving into madness later in
Sure,
the movie, I think it would be a little bit too much of an unrealistic thing that no one else on his street notices any of this.
perhaps.
Something that I guess I always noticed it, but I didn't notice it till this time around is that one of the most like just crazy logistical things that he does in this movie is that he brings over all of the extended family nearly 2 weeks before actual Christmas.
It's a long time.
That's nuts. I mean, I get that's the whole point is that they're doing crazy shit, but like I I mean, granted, we aren't that kind of a family. We don't do a whole big family reunion thing. I don't even think I could name you 5 cousins off top of my head. But like, I would never do that. If I were to ever do something like, invite extended family over, it would be like, okay, come over for like 3 days. The fact that they're there for the better part of the entirety of December is crazy.
Thinking backwards, I mean, I'm pretty sure the longest we ever did with like grandparents was maybe a week.
Maybe a week, yeah.
But yeah, multiple weeks is crazy. Eddie is almost his own like.
I would watch an Eddie movie. Are you kidding?
Well, the thing is, like, I
Like,
like. I don't think he could stand on his own. I think he's great
no.
uh, against Clark. I think that's why it works so well.
He definitely needs a straight man to play off of because if it's just Eddie all the time, it wouldn't be as funny. You'd go like desensitized to the hillbilly bullshit.
Sure. I mean, even like right off the bat, when like they cut to them in the living room, and there's that like a candle wind thing that we also have that like falls apart if you barely touch it.
And that's what he does, yeah.
Yes. Just I don't know, so many little things that I'm like, oh man, I like this is relatable to this, and but it's also the ridiculousness of like, oh, my son is in the circus, and we're living in
His
like
entire lore drop monologue thing, if you actually sit down and listen to what he says, is just it's insane.
yes, as a character, just whoever decided like what his background was going to be, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's look at my
Ooh,
thing.
okay, so. There is a easy answer to this question, but I don't know if it is truly the correct answer. Who do you think is the protagonist in this?
I mean, it's I mean, okay. So the obvious knee jerk answer, I mean, wants to say Clark.
Course. But when you think about it, I mean, he ignores his family for most of the time to set up lights. He, I mean, he
I
is
mean, he's the
ignoring his wife to
protagonist.
stare at this bimbo.
I would say he's the protagonist, but we're not supposed to think he's a good person.
Yeah, I don't know. Like throughout this, I'm like, I don't like. like, yes, it's his movie, I would say, but like, I don't know. It's and part of it, that's part of why they have that whole scene with his dad. He's like, "Hey, I know you're trying to give the best Christmas, but like, it made me feel less inclined to root for him because I'm like, oh, I mean, a lot of this is self inflicted.
Yeah, I mean, I think if we're watching this for like character redemption arc, it's probably wrong. But if I really want to be like analyzing National Lampoon's Vacation, I think Clark Griswold is meant to be another like overly extreme version of
Of the dad character. Yes,
of the dad quote unquote character doing like all of his worst impulses, I guess.
sure, yeah, that makes sense. They're having. I've got. There's a few notes in here that are just quotes, and it's mostly Eddie. But uh, if
Shitter's full, man.
like if this side gets dented, then my hair just ain't gonna look right. When he's talking about how his plate in his head got replaced by plastic.
And then freaking Clark just turns in and looks at him and is like, is it really going to make that much of a difference if you have a dent in your head at this point?
Yeah. Did you see how much dog food they were buying?
Oh my god. Yes.
Holy shit!
And the freaking Clark puts that little tiny box of lights in between them, then he drops like three, you know,
Yes.
10-pound bags of dog. That's so funny.
Where do I know the older uncle who's smoking the cigar from? I definitely recognize him from somewhere.
I
The one
don't
with the two
remember.
pack.
I did not think to look.
I'm gonna look it up really quick. One second.
So what I was curious as well is that Juliette Lewis, who plays Clark's daughter, I recognize him from several other things. I'm trying to like figure out what she was in first because she was also in From Dusk Till Dawn and Natural Born Killers, but they were all out around the exact same time. So I'm trying to figure out okay, which one came first. I think it's actually this.
Looking at
And
her,
then
I
of
mean,
course,
she's done
um,
quite a bit.
yeah, and then of course, uh, his son Johnny Galecki goes on to play the main character in Big Bang Theory.
Yes, which I for literally I watched this the whole thing today. Did not even realize that was him until you said it.
I remembered it when I was looking up some of the stuff.
The uncle is from Mouse Hunt or Mouse Trap or whatever it's called.
Oh, really?
He's the old guy that dies that they inherit the house from.
Oh, I could. That's a fun movie. It's a
Which
very
have not seen that in a
screwball
long
kind of
time.
comedy.
The both the Pledge of Allegiance during dinner, which Eddie stands up and puts the hand on the heart, is hilarious.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
And
and he's wearing like that skin tight, like fake denim plastic suit. It's so funny.
that has like cow print on it. Yes.
Yeah,
Uh, After Clark goes through his like rage bit of like his boss is an asshole, which I mean fair. Uh, the line of just where's the Tylenol is so funny. Where's the
I
Tylenol?
I do love that whole rant, and I'm probably gonna find a video of it and repost it
Yes.
to our socials. When I first watched that, when I was like, probably when our dad showed us it, and I was probably in high school, I'm like, oh wow, he's cursing so much, and you know, this is so blue, I guess you could use the term. Watching it back now,
It's not that bad.
it's not that bad. I mean, it is definitely still very funny, but I think if you release this movie just pretty much with no changes, you could get away with a PG-13. There are, I mean,
Probably, yes.
there's Marvel movies with more swearing.
You couldn't hear a dump truck driving through a nitroglycerin plant.
That's such a. I wrote that
It's
down
an
as well. That is
interesting
such a
line because I'm like,
funny
who
line.
thought of that? That's such a weird sentence.
Oh, the bit where he's lighting his stogie and then explodes the tree
Yes,
and
that's
then
great.
has the fucking nerd be like, "Oh, what's your problem?" If I'm Clark, I'm decking him in the face and burying him in the yard. Jesus, that always pisses me off.
I understand the need to escalate the bits for the absurdity, but I always found that the whole squirrel in the tree, the whole all of that,
I think it's funny, but there's probably a more extreme version you could do. Like make it a raccoon or something. But the fact that it's a squirrel isn't actually that crazy.
yeah, and like when they're running upstairs, they literally it's like a fake squirrel is like taped to Clark's back.
I
Eh, it, I don't know.
mean, Also, talking about characters that annoy the shit out of me. Clark's wife's parents are so fucking mean. I
Yes.
like the whole bit of like where he's trying to get the lights to work and they're just shitting on him the entire time. Like, you guys are horrible.
Well, I think again they're playing the archetype of like always not approving of the husband.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's true. So
Well,
I don't care to look up what the average salary for a food additive scientist would have been back then compared to now because I frankly don't give a fuck. I always am just kind of blown away with how huge his house is.
oh, it's mass again. Well,
Like it's 2 stories, it's got a basement, it's got a huge full-size attic, a 2-car garage. Like I get that it's big to allow for as many characters as possible to do crazy shit, but just like it's such a huge building.
I quickly just Googled it. In 1989, a food additive designer,
Yeah.
typically held by a chemical engineer or food scientist, would have likely earned an annual salary in the 35 to 70 grand range.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, okay.
Which it's weird when you think of like a a chemical engineer. Clark does not give off chemical engineer vibes.
Oh, absolutely not. But I think it's similar in the way that, like, technically Homer Simpson is a nuclear engineer.
I guess, which seems
I mean, there's intended comedy to be derived from the fact that he is so clearly an idiot doing something that's supposed to be very smart.
hmm,
So we mentioned it a little bit earlier, but the bit where Eddie is just rattling off in insane family lore, where he's drinking the
eggnog.
eggnog. I really love the part where he is wearing a nearly see-through white like skin tight sweater and
With
you
the
can
bacon.
see his fake turtleneck on the underside. That's so
Yes.
funny.
I always feel bad for his wife because she clearly somehow again loves the guy, but like I, I'm sure it's just her life would be so much simpler with
Oh
like,
yeah,
or even like
absolutely.
when they cut into the turkey and it goes horribly wrong and she's all upset, but like you can still see the, oh, he loves it, he enjoys it. Uh, so I
Well,
don't know. It's
I think he's trying
hard to
to
look at a relationship that way.
yeah, I think he's trying to make the best of it in that situation.
Do you find yourself relating to any one family member?
I mean, maybe Rusty a little bit, his son. Just I have very distinct memories of also helping our father put up lots of lights and
Hmm.
yard stuff, but that's pretty early on in the movie because even as it keeps going, everyone becomes so exaggerated and ridiculous. I find it hard to relate to some of them.
Sure, that's fair.
How about you?
I mean, not really. I mean, yeah, there are bits and pieces throughout with Rusty or anyone like that, but uh, yeah, once the movie really gets going, I'm like, oh, not. I just wouldn't be in this environment.
No, I do think that the bit where he's at the is it a perfume counter or like the part where she's like obviously like lifting up her dress and things like that? That's maybe I think the weakest comedy wise movie. It's very one note of him just making allusions to her boobs and stumbling over his words and it
Yes,
goes on for like nearly 10 minutes.
maybe not 10 minutes, but like it's a good amount of time. Yes. If this does bucket, what would you choose for it to be? Like, what would be the bucket though?
Hmm. I think Eddie's RV, you could absolutely turn that into one.
Hmm. Okay.
Maybe it's kind of difficult. I guess maybe his house, you could lift it up and it would have like a floor section of where different scenes happen, and you could fill that with popcorn.
Sure.
Do you have any ideas?
I mean, no, I mean the sled is all tore up through the middle, so that wouldn't work.
True.
Probably couldn't use a chainsaw.
I really like that bit that I mean, they literally do it twice where he's wearing the Freddy Krueger mask. Or
Yes.
no, that's not Freddy Krueger.
No,
I know
that's
horror better than
Jason.
that. That's definitely Jason Voorhees, but yes.
The bit like I love that you after one interaction, you'd already know what kind of relationship he has with his neighbors.
Oh,
He's like, "Oh,
oh,
bend over and I'll show you." And he's like, "Hey," he's like, "I wasn't talking to you."
yes.
Great, very good.
Well, I also love how you can tell how different their personality is just by the way that their house is also decorated.
Yes. I mean, even then when they're walking in those sweatsuits.
Yeah, kind of at the end of my list. Let me just double check.
Me too.
Well, I'm okay. I wouldn't ask you to recast all of their extended family because that's very difficult. But if you were to make this today, if because they did do a reboot of just plain Vacation, I think with Ed
Yeah.
Helms.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to make this today, who would you cast in the main Griswold household? Would you keep Ed Helms? Do you think?
That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I would put William Defoe as one of the extended family. I think that'd be fun.
I mean, any and all opportunities to include William Defoe in something is always a good choice.
I would have. I don't. Someone who is like a. I'd have to look at. I would need like a lineup of like, okay, actresses of this rough age that would be the wife. I can't
Mm,
think of anyone. The kids, I think it works best for the kids to not be a no name, like a named actor or actress.
I think for the kids, you could just steal some Stranger Things actors and use
They're
Finn
too old.
Wolfhard and Sadie Sink.
They're too old.
Are they at this? Well, yeah, I guess they are.
Well, it depends on what kind of. I think if especially if it's like modern day.
True.
I don't know. I mean, your kids could you could just have older kids, and that could be the movie.
It
Which I
wouldn't
mean,
make
I
any sense
watch.
for them to still be living at home, though.
Yeah, well,
Well, yeah.
especially in this economy. Uh,
Well, I mean, if we were to make this today in this economy, he wouldn't have this giant mansion. He would probably be in a one bedroom apartment.
okay, maybe not a one bedroom apartment. Yes, especially well, he would be of the generation that would still probably would have been okay money wise. That might be a Gen X,
I don't remember.
I think, before millennial, but yeah. Either way, who else?
I think for cousin Eddie, you could do Jason Sudeikis
That's not a bad choice. I feel like,
because I feel like he could play just wacky out there hillbilly very well.
or you go like Charlie Day.
No, he needs to be. I guess Charlie Day is actually kind of older at this point, but I mean, like, I don't know. I don't know if it works if he's shorter, I guess.
Okay, okay.
Maybe I'm wrong. Well, I think that's about most of what we're thinking of talking about for Christmas vacation.
It is available on Disney Plus if you want to watch it yourself. I would
And
recommend
I
that.
would
I'm
I would
sure Andy would
recommend it, yeah.
recommend it.
And I would actually say, I mean, obviously I wouldn't say Sovis to children, but since standards for what is considered risque or shocking have certainly evolved at this point, you could probably show this to pretty much anyone else other than like, you know, elementary school kids.
Mm-hmm. And from that, we're going to shift into what have we watched? What are we looking forward to watching? That kind of deal. Anything that's been on your
Well,
list
I
there?
mean, I've been working through some Christmas movies that don't include. I mean, it did include this, but some other ones as well. I watched Arthur Christmas. I don't remember what I said last week, but if I repeat myself, I repeat myself. So I watched Arthur Christmas, Muppet Christmas Carol, the original Grinch, the CGI Grinch, and Klaus.
I don't think you referenced any of those last week, so you're good.
Well, I am trying to do 25 in the 25 days of Christmas, and I am still behind, even though that does sound like a lot.
Well,
So
it's a movie every single day.
it is more than you think it is. Yeah, I probably won't actually hit that mark, but I'll certainly get a lot more in this year than I had previously. So I have a ton more to get through. I'm probably going to do Scrooged tomorrow, just because that's a lot of fun, and then uh, see what else from there.
Favorite?
Financially, I'm still not in the movie tickets every weekend place that I want to be, but I would still like to go see Zootopia 2. Um, Knives Out, I want to say, is still in theaters. Uh, and I think that's all that's out in theaters. I want to say Running Man is probably left at this point. So when that comes to streaming, I want to watch that.
Agreed. Yeah, I think Running Man might be gone, which is unfortunate because I would like to see it, but um, yeah, I might. So the closest theater that to me that is showing Knives Out is Shoreline.
Ooh,
So I'm trying to find either Sunday or Monday
that's a
potentially.
drive, Shoreline.
Well, for me, it's about 35 minutes, but like
Yeah,
if
for me, it's like an hour.
well, at least that's why I'm like, oh, if the parents or you wanted to join, I was like, yeah, that's quite a ways just for that. But so yeah, those are coming. What else? Okay. Predator Killer of Killers I watched.
Oh, what'd you think?
So it is three. Okay, do you know? I don't want to like spoil it, but like,
I have watched it.
okay, I liked the like Nordic chick. I liked the samurai bit. I just
Sure.
didn't buy the whole kid Air Force World War II.
It is definitely the weakest one.
Yeah, and then he's like the main driving force behind the end of the movie, which like I felt that like, the whole last I don't know 30-ish minutes of the movie, I feel like they really let off the gas a lot.
Yeah, a little bit.
But I mean, I thought the animation was cool. I thought the other stories were good. No, I had a good time watching it. Uh, yeah, I like a 3.5 out of 5. Like
Yeah,
Prey is better and Predator Badlands is better, but it's still had a good time.
fair.
Have you ever heard of Knight of Cups? Knight as in Kninght?
Yeah, it's a Terrence Malick thing with
Yes.
Christian Bale. I want to watch all of Terrence Malick's stuff because his things have like a vibe unto them that you can't find anywhere else. Kind of like how
Uh huh.
um, David Lynch has like a vibe to him that is uniquely his. I can't figure out where all of them are streaming though, so I haven't watched it yet.
Knight of Cups is now on Netflix, and that's what or at least I
Oh,
tried to
okay.
watch it. And you are so right when you say it's got a vibe because it only has a vibe.
That is, yeah,
There's no like linear story. There's no. It's literally like if what it felt like someone's like, hey, here's a loose idea for a music video that we want you to shoot, and then they just didn't put the music in.
yeah.
However,
I have read that at this point, Terrence Malick makes expensive perfume commercials.
yeah, I mean, most of the movie was just Christian Bale like walking on the beach staring at the ocean.
I remember him from making a movie called The Thin Red Line, which is a really good
Yes,
um, war movie, but he has definitely gone on to be more loose in what considers a story. Yes,
and granted, this is from a decade ago, but like, dude, Christian Bale, Kate Blanchett, Natalie Portman, Antonio Banderas, you'd recognize Michael Wincott, Kevin Corrigan, Jason Clark, Joel Kinnaman, Nick Offerman,
yeah,
like
stacked cast.
Shea Wiggum, like it's a huge fucking cast, and like I was so goddamn bored. I think I turned it off after like 25 minutes. I was like, dude, I can't do 2 hours of this. This is
That's
not worth my
fair.
time. Which is such a bummer because I was like, oh, like I mean, between the cast and like the director's other stuff, the Thin Red Line, yeah, I keep hearing about. Yeah. I watched Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, which none of the movies are bad, but I don't think it's my favorite.
Yeah, it's definitely the least fun.
Well, not just the least fun, but it's like it's no longer the young ones where they're having fun, but it's not like where truly things are happening in the later ones. Like this is just like the prep of like,
Sure,
okay, we're establishing Voldemort is here again. We're establishing that Harry and his friends are like trying to make this Dumbledore's army kind of vibe. At
it's
the
kind
end,
of like the awkward middle child as far as the tones go.
yes. And the ending is cool where it's Voldemort fighting Dumbledore in the Ministry. It's
Yep,
like,
yep.
yeah, that part's sick.
Oh yeah, where they're running through all the globes smashing behind him is very cool.
Yes, again, like there's lots of this movie to like. I would give it like a very solid 3.5 out of 5. It's just there are better there are better ones.
Sure.
Um, we watched Charlie Brown Christmas, which all like 25 minutes of it.
Oh, that's true. We did.
Yes, it's cozy, it's wholesome. There's a lot of themes in this that are no longer talked about. Some of that I understand with times changing and worldviews changing and things like that, but some of that I'm like, oh, it's a simpler, sweeter time, maybe. I don't know how to explain it, but granted, it's from 60 years ago.
I would say, I mean, even as the brother who I know I go to church, I'm really not going to get into that on this podcast, but like I also don't really love specifically Bible themed stuff. I think it's usually not very good. I like how it's done in the Charlie Brown one.
Mhm. Well, usually it's really heavy-handed.
Exactly.
And this, I mean, it is in this movie, quote unquote movie, because it's only 25 minutes. I mean, it's a short story. I mean, it's a short film, but uh, I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's only about that.
Yeah. I mean, but also Peanuts just as a style and as a like the music is so
The music's
charming.
so good.
It's so nice. Like Vince Guaraldi, I just amazing stuff.
And then I finished the week with watching Christmas Eve in Miller's Point, which is it's
You
something
sent me
that's
the link about that, yeah.
it's been on my list pretty much. It came out in 2024, and I don't know how I heard about it a year ago, but I heard about it, put it on my list, forgot about it. Just saw that it came on Disney Plus. Um, it is uh, if you've ever, it's very like Richard Linklater
Sure.
style of like the whole movie is mostly just conversations, and it's like if Richard Linklater tried to make Christmas Vacation actually, because it's one big
Huh.
crazy, basically like 24 hours before Christmas. I mean, it's Christmas Eve. One extended family. And it's just a bunch of little like snippets from different conversations of people talking to each other.
That's
Uh,
interesting. See, I would say that Holdovers feels like a Richard
mm,
Linklater Christmas
mhm.
movie.
Well, this is even okay. I would say Holdovers is maybe the better version of it because so the only person like that they show on the both the poster and like any of the stills you keep seeing for this, and part of the reason I was like, oh, what's this? Is the only like name actor. Everyone else is a no name. Is Michael Cera, and I'm like, okay, Michael Cera does odd kind of fun things usually. Like, what else is?
Sometimes.
And he plays a cop in this, and there's only like 3 scenes where he's in it,
Oh, but he's on all the promotional material?
but he's in all the and like his scenes
That's a good sign.
his scenes do not add any value. What most of it is just him and his partner just awkwardly staring at each other.
Huh.
But yeah, it's kind of odd.
It sounds
And
it.
where again, most of the movie is just like the snapshot of the evening, and there's not an actual like here's the story arc of like, oh, this is the problem that the protagonist needs to solve or whatever. The ending still did feel unresolved. So
Hmm.
uh yeah, maybe like a 3.5 out of 5. Glad I watched it. I honestly thought it was gonna be better. um
Okay.
that is what I watched. Let's see. Yeah, we talked about Running Man and Knives Out. Supposedly during the Avatar Fire and Ash
Yeah.
movie, there's going to be a 6-minute prologue for Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, and then there's going to be like a 2-minute trailer for Avengers Doomsday. I think everyone has going to be more excited for one of those than the other. Anything else you can think of?
Uh, so this will slightly date when we record this, but the trailer for Supergirl was released today. I have yet to watch it, but
I saw
do
it.
I was gonna say I have heard it is essentially is just Guardians with Supergirl.
Yeah, to a certain degree. And so the comic that a lot of the Supergirl stuff is going to be based off, which is Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, I believe.
The art in that book is so cool.
It is. It's very cool. I've not read it, but I've seen several stills. I'm like, oh, this is sick.
Like I don't want to like buy it, but I want to read it all like in its entirety. I want to see if I can find it at the library or something because like I absolutely love that artist.
Mm-hmm. But the thing is, from what I remember, from what I've seen, it's pretty graphic. Like she does not fuck around, and maybe they're just hiding that from the trailers. But the trailers seem too family oriented, which I think Superman is supposed to be. But she was always supposed to be like the oh, I'm the bad boy, bad girl version of Superboy or Superman. Excuse
Hmm.
me. I mean,
We'll see. I mean, it's a couple episodes ago, but neither one of us were super thrilled about Superman. I think I less than you, but yeah, we'll see. I guess
let's see. Apparently, there's a. I'm not gonna watch it because I don't really care. But there's a teaser for Street Fighter.
I saw the picture in that. It's literally a game I've never played.
Yeah,
I
I don't care.
if you're a fan of that and you're excited, that's great. We don't really have an opinion either
Oof.
way. I would still like to go watch FNAF 2. I think it's incredibly hilarious how split the audience scores and the like serious reviewers scores are. Like, I mean, and this could be an entirely different discussion about should we take Rotten Tomatoes as a solid source anymore. But
Nah.
even if we were to, let's say hypothetically, like it's sitting at like a 12% for serious critics and then at like an 86 for fans. I am not like a hardcore FNAF fan, but even I know like the games are hot garbage. They are inconsistent bullshit and not good on purpose in some
Yeah.
ways.
One of my one of my coworkers did see it, and he's like, "Yeah, that was one of the worst movies I've ever seen."
But like that, I don't know. That's actually kind of a faithful adaptation if it's stupid. Like that's kind of what fans want.
Yeah, what my coworker basically is like, yeah, none of the scenes really connected at all. Like the writing was really, really bad. Um,
Like I don't know if I would pay to watch it. I did pay to watch the first one and then learn my lesson. I probably wouldn't pay to watch it, but like that definitely sounds like a good drinking game movie to watch at home.
maybe. I haven't seen the trailer, but there's a movie called The Drama. Do you know what this is?
I know I know who's in it.
Yeah,
It's
all I know
it's
it's a
Pattinson and Zendaya.
yeah, which I'm like, dude. I mean, could you pick any more the more like popular actors right now?
That is a good point. Yes, but
Jeez,
I
on the
don't know what it's about.
well, it sounds like the process of them getting married. I think
Yeah,
I don't know.
I would need more context before I'm even vaguely interested because that sounds very sounds like well trodden earth. So I don't know.
It looks like there is a season 2 of something called Hijack, which again I've never even. I think it's an Apple TV thing, but
Yeah, never heard of it.
it stars Idris Elba, and there's a like a just a screenshot of him. He's looking old.
I mean, he is old.
Just oof. And I think I'm like, well, at one point he could have been Bond, but I think that has passed.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't heard like rumors or news about that in maybe over a year.
I mean, I keep hearing, oh, it might be this person, it might be that, but I'm like, I mean, I'm not really holding my breath. And to a certain degree, I'm kind of okay with them not pumping out a new one yet.
No.
Let because I mean, I think No Time to Die, which I was thinking about this earlier. I kind of want to rewatch that. I haven't. I think I only saw it the one time.
I I saw it I think twice. I actually liked it less when I watched it again, but
Hmm.
maybe you'll have a different experience.
Maybe it's just it wasn't that long ago, and I feel like, hey, especially with how long the run of Daniel Craig, and they actually, it was the first time they actually gave Bond like a continuing story,
Yeah,
like a
which
beginning
is
and an end.
yeah. I mean,
I
I
would
think that movie works great as like a narrative close to
sure
Craig's Bond. I
yes
think if you look at it as a Bond movie, it's really not good.
If I remember right, it's pretty fucking long, isn't it?
It's long. There's not a whole lot of action. I think the villain, they got a great actor, and then they don't really do much with him.
Yeah, Remy Malik does. If I remember right, doesn't do a ton. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, there's definitely stuff to like, but I didn't enjoy it as much as I wanted to.
Well, I think that's all the possible things I can think of. If you like listening to this, folks, obviously smash that like button, hit that subscribe, the bell, tell your friends, family, pets if they listen to you. As we referenced, I think last week when we talked about our Spotify Wrapped, there is growth. There are people listening to
Some,
this. Some, hey, any growth is good growth,
that's true.
from all different countries and uh, demographics and things like that, which is kind of cool. So, share this if you feel like it. We'd appreciate it. Uh,
And next week we're going to be talking about Elf.
so stay tuned for more holiday madness, I guess.
Join us next week for more holiday magic. If you want to watch with us, Elf is available, I believe,
HBO Max.
on HBO Max. So watch it there. Come with your own opinion. See if they match up with ours.